What is up, everybody in the digital asset space, everybody in the crypto community, the XRP community as a whole? Solomon here. Happy Thursday. If you see any scam ads on this video, please do not participate in those. Wanted to start out with this disclaimer as well. I know many of you are in the US, I know many of you are in the UK, many in Australia, many all over the world that listen to these videos and invest in digital assets and to probably have multiple digital exchanges that you utilize. Many of us have seen today, this is Bitmex. Bitmex is a extremely large Bitcoin exchange with other digital currencies as well. I do believe that they have leverage on there for trading. Owners of Bitmex, a leading Bitcoin exchange, face criminal charges. This is just today. American authorities brought criminal charges on Thursday against the owners of one of the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchanges, Bitmex, accusing them of allowing the Hong Kong-based company to launder money and engage in other illegal transactions. As a little bit of a sidebar here, I believe Arthur Hayes, I'm pretty sure Bitmex has XRP on there at this point, and I'm pretty sure that this is the gentleman here that had listed XRP but then talked trash on it as well. So, everything that we've seen from Ripple's standpoint is about them working with regulators and being compliant. Many of these exchanges obviously are not following suit. So that always goes to say, if you have digital asset exchanges, I do not recommend keeping, unless you're an active trader or you have a plan, keeping your digital assets on exchanges. Cold storage wallets, that you've got Ledger Nano S. There's a couple other different options out there. Even paper wallets. There are multiple options for you to secure your digital assets. Keeping them on an exchange is very risky because things like this have happened in the past. There have been hacks in the past. We know KuCoin has gotten hacked, and I believe that we're going to see more of this in the future. But brought criminal charges on Thursday against the owners of one of the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchanges, Bitmex, accusing them of allowing the Hong Kong-based company to launder money and engage in other illegal transactions. Bitmex is far from the first cryptocurrency company to get in trouble for allegedly facilitating criminal activity, but it is the largest and most established exchange to face criminal charges. Federal prosecutors in Manhattan indicted the chief executive officer of Bitmex, Arthur Hayes, and 3 co-owners. They were all arrested in Massachusetts on Thursday, while the other 3 men remained at large. So it looks like Arthur Hayes was arrested in Massachusetts here. So we will see where this goes. Bitmex has handled more than 1.5 billion of trades each day recently, making it one of the 5 biggest exchanges on most days. So keep an eye on this news here, but that's big. Now this is very big, and I always pay attention to what these institutions are doing in line with what Ripple's doing, and a lot of times we see things that kind of happen in tandem or at the same time. Now, if you're not aware, yesterday, Ripple just announced with EnergyWeb, they're going to decarbonize the XRP ledger by 2030. And if you hadn't seen my video yesterday, I put it out at midnight, so probably not a lot of people watched it. Ripple bids to decarbonize blockchain networks. And this is going net zero by 2030. This is with the XRP Ledger Foundation, EnergyWeb, and Rocky Mountain Institute. Ripple is obviously a supporter as well. They are starting with the XRP Ledger through the use of the new open source EW0 tool. Additionally, Ripple is driving new research with leading universities that evaluate energy consumption across digital assets, credit card networks, and cash. A lot of financial institutions, nations around the world are targeting net zero by 2050. There are green climate initiatives all over the place by many of the largest banking organizations in the world that target the year 2030 as well. So that's interesting. Now, yesterday when Ripple posted this, I just saw this today that the Bank of England had a treasury panel, oral evidence, decarbonization and green finance. So probably just a complete coincidence, right? But a lot of things seem to align with Ripple announcements and what some of these larger banking institutions are doing as well. So I pay attention to it. This is a long video here, but interesting verbiage again. Take it with a grain of salt, but level playing field. They're talking about the, it looks like this green network after stress testing going live. in certain corridors or certain situations by 2024, I believe, and they say in this video. But certain things will obviously be enabled earlier from watching this. Just paying attention to everything here. You know, this is Deutsche Bank. This is later in the year of 2019, so a little bit more recent, right? Less than a well, yeah, actually, just about a year ago now. Transitioning into the future of securities post-trade. From Deutsche Bank, DLT, and digital assets path to smart custody. I stumbled across this when I was doing a little bit of research today, and many of you may not have seen this, but this is the emergence of distributed ledger technology-related laws and regulations. And they're globally, Deutsche Bank is basically saying that legislators globally have started to develop specific laws and the need for reinterpretation of laws and regulations. And it's giving you a future possible scenario here. Figure 8 is possible digitized assets, delivery versus payment methods. We can see a cryptocurrency exchange confirms settlement finality. This is directly through Deutsche Bank, one of the largest banking institutions globally. Obviously, they've had their issues with fraud and some other things, but they are confirming what we know is going to come here. Figure B, Corda Settler intermediate settlement finality, and we all know that Corda. Well, maybe you do not know. Corda Settler is from R3. R3 Corda Settler can either right now settle via XRP or settle via Swift GPI. Swift is the legacy banking infrastructure that they utilize for messaging. Swift GPI can still settle transactions if you are not aware. It is more like Xcurrent. It's pre-validation on the front and back end and settles through Nostro and Vostro, which is pre-funded accounts. I've explained that in some earlier videos, but I always confuse the two, but Nostro is basically my bank holding money in your bank. And Vostro is the opposite, so there's always liquidity there to settle. But it slows down the process because there's multiple back office processes that need to occur for that actual settlement to occur. For example, if the transaction gets there, and people confuse this all the time, if the transaction gets there even through GPI in a minute, that does not mean that settlement happens instantaneously. There's still, and even if it does happen nearly instantaneously, there is still trapped liquidity in the system. So, but this is right through Deutsche Bank, Corda Settler intermediate settlement finality. Not too old, so still relevant in my opinion. OCC today. OCC's Brian Brooks, who is the head of the OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the head individual banking regulator in the United States, discusses crypto and fintech innovation with SEC Chairman Jay Clayton during an industry event. This is probably not a lot here, but just presenting it to you all. Christine Lagarde spoke today as well on digitization. We know she is big on CBDCs. We know she's met with Brad Garlinghouse, et cetera, in the past. We know that the IMF has had papers with XRP in there as well, but take that with a grain of salt. I'm sure that there are more about CBDCs. However, we can see very much so that the digitalization and digitization / globalization talk continues. Interestingly enough, she does speak down here, while globalization, and this is talking about the pandemic, and digitalization have tended to pull in the same direction over the past 20 years, it is conceivable that they might now pull in opposite directions. The pandemic might trigger deglobalization as protectionism rises and firms shorten supply chains to increase operational resilience and accelerate the expansion of the digital economy. But the digital economy inherently needs to break down silos, right, to interoperate. So you can talk about globalization from her standpoint there, but you can also talk about there being a almost like a renewed term for globalization where it becomes more digital and the silos digitally break down so that everything interoperates. Two news articles from Finastra yesterday. National Bank of Bahrain is going to future-proof, and I talk about future-proofing all of the time on this channel. National Bank of Bahrain is future-proofing their treasury business via Finastra. We know Finastra used to be Missis and D+H. D+H, obviously a Ripple integrator, Ripple partner, patents with Ripple involved, and Finastra obviously is on-demand liquidity, aka their clients can utilize XRP. First Independence Bank also selected the suite from Finastra Solutions to grow its retail business. This is a Detroit area bank. Not as big. This is Fusion Finastra's Fusion Phoenix Core, and Fusion Digital Banking. Now we have MoneyGram. IME MoneyGram are partners with MoneyGram to expand digital access to global platform. This is a digital wing of IME Limited in Nepal. They've partnered with MoneyGram to expand digital assets of its global platform through IME Pay app and enable consumers in Nepal to receive remittance directly into their mobile wallet. So everything goes mobile, right? Last thing here, I think this is the MoneyGram and the Tunisian Post. Partnership agreement between Tunisian Post and the International MoneyGram Foundation. This is the signing of a new partnership agreement with the International MoneyGram Foundation, specialized in the field of remittances and financial payments around the world. This agreement aims to facilitate and bring financial services closer to the benefit of customers and citizens by using the global MoneyGram platform to send and receive money from abroad through the network of post offices distributed in various regions and regions of the Republic, which exceed 1,050 offices. Financial and social inclusion, right? Financial services at different prices in accordance with international standards in the field of remittances with the required speed and quality. So I was extremely interested about this, the decarbonization news from Ripple yesterday, and the Bank of England just so happens to have the same topic on the board of discussion. And Deutsche Bank's document as well may be new to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's news tomorrow, I'll be sure to present it. And yep, have a great evening. Later.